UFOs that it has been hiding from the world and its own people? We are not alone, and American authorities are covering up the evidence. That startling claim was made by a former U.S. intelligence officer who testified on Wednesday before a congressional committee. David Grusch testified that he absolutely believes the U.S. government is in possession of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAPs, commonly known as UFOs or unidentified flying objects. Grusch said, and I quote, "I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. I made the decision based on the data I collected to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower." When asked for more details, he repeatedly said he could not comment in a public setting because the information is classified, but Grusch added that the US government is hiding information on UAPs or UFOs, not only from the public but also from the Congress, and that he personally interviewed people with direct knowledge of non-human craft. He said, "My testimony is based on information that I've been given by individuals with a long-standing track record of legitimacy and service to this country, many of whom also shared compelling evidence in the form of photography, official documentation, and classified oral testimony." Grusch also claimed that the US government has probably been aware of the non-human activity since the 1930s. He also claimed that he knows of multiple colleagues who were physically injured by UAP activity and individuals within the US federal government. David Grusch disclosed the retaliation he faced for coming forward about UAPs. He described it as brutal and claimed to have experienced administrative terrorism meant to silence him. He even revealed that some individuals might have been harmed or injured in attempts to cover up UAP technology. Co-leading the UFO investigation, Republican Congressman Tim Burkett accused the US government and its agencies of lacking cooperation with the Oversight Committee's investigation. The difficulty in obtaining information and testimony from relevant parties led to frustrations and claims of being stonewalled by federal officials, he said. Burkett, in fact, supported the idea that the US government was concealing information. At the opening of the congressional hearing, which also featured testimonies from two former Navy officers, who too said that they had witnessed UAPs or UFOs, Burkett said, "We are going to uncover the cover-up. This is an issue of government transparency. We can't trust a government that does not trust its own people." The other two witnesses were David Fravor, a former Navy commander who recalled a strange object during the 2004 training mission, and Ryan Graves, a retired Navy pilot who witnessed a UAP sighting off the Atlantic coast. In fact, multiple sightings regularly for many years, he said. These sightings, witnessed by military and commercial pilots, have sparked significant interest in the UFO phenomenon. But the head of the Pentagon office set up to identify UAPs that pose a potential threat told lawmakers earlier this year that it had not identified any signs of alien activity. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office has found no credible evidence thus far of extraterrestrial activity, off-world technology, or objects that defy the known laws of physics. Sean Kirkpatrick had said this in his testimony in April this year. The US government has, however, begun taking the issue of UAPs or UFOs more seriously in recent years. NASA held its first public meeting on UAPs in May this year, calling for a more rigorous scientific research, or approach rather, to clarify the origin of hundreds of mysterious sightings. The Pentagon also began paying closer attention after a slew of inexplicable sightings from US Navy and Air Force pilots. The primary worry is that the sightings could be of unknown aerial surveillance technology that China was possibly using to collect intelligence on US defenses. The issue of UFOs has united politicians from both sides of the aisle. Congress members believe that the American people deserve transparency and accountability when it comes to reports of UAPs. For over 50 years, there has been ongoing interest in UFOs. Even former US presidents Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and others claimed to have seen unidentified flying objects.
I mean, there's two big questions in this world. What happens when we die and are we alone? And the Pentagon's talking about one of them right now, so it's interesting as hell. I mean, it is fascinating to think that, you know, maybe we're the ones in the ant farm. I don't think we're going to learn anything new as far as those of us that are interested in the subject. I just think it shows exposure. There's a couple whistleblowers. Well, there's three whistleblowers here today: two Navy pilots and an intelligence agent that are making some pretty interesting claims about that the United States has crashed retrieval, that we have down craft, crash craft, and alien bodies. And this guy handled the presidential daily briefing for years. So that's a big deal.
Good morning and welcome to the most exciting subcommittee in Congress this week, the Subcommittee on National Security, the Border, and Foreign Affairs, for discussion of unidentified anomalous phenomena.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower. As you know, I've suffered retaliation for my decision, but I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of increased transparency.
Well, this is a question that has been asked for decades now. Is there really any such thing as unidentified flying objects? Is there really extraterrestrial activity out there? Are there beings that we are not aware of? Well, if you go by what these three whistleblowers told the US Congress, it does look like some such activity has in fact indeed been recorded by the United States. But these whistleblowers claim the US government is hiding this from its own people and the world. Just what is the truth? That still remains a million-dollar question. Time for us to take another quick break here on Global Lens, but we have more for you on the other side. Remains a million-dollar question. Time for us to take another quick break here on Global Lens, but we have more for you on the other side.